Hello friends, how you doing? So I've actually had some people along the way question how I set up my equipment and what is in my setup. So today I'm just gonna kind of go through my setup specifically for using the electronic pads. And basically I've used the same setup for each time. I've actually had 3 of them. I've had the Alesis Sample Pad Pro. I now own the Yamaha Multi-12, ZTX Multi-12, and I now own the Roland SPD-SX. So that being said, I'm going to talk about my Roland setup. What I've always done, actually, I've never used a module stand. I've always used a snare stand, modified snare stand setup to put the module in. So the modules so far have been, the pads have been small enough that they'll fit into a snare basket, okay? And then from the snare basket, instead of using the snare stand that usually comes with it, I put the snare basket on a cymbal stand so I can get a higher reach because I'm a little bit taller and I like the pad to be a little bit more up instead of down. So I don't have it facing flat, I actually have it facing on an angle. It's always the way I've done it. And so that's how I mount the trigger pad. That's first. The main pad, excuse me. For the trigger pads, what I actually use is I use a Roland KT1. Again, I found this used, okay, at a great price. Okay, I think it was maybe $150 lower than it normally would cost. Okay, it's pretty expensive, but if you can get one used, it's an excellent buy because it is all-in-one trigger pad. Okay, you don't have to worry about getting a tower. You don't have to worry about a beater. It's all there for you. So I use the single zone for my one trigger that I split for the snare pad. I use the KT1 as the other one. And for the other 2 triggers, I actually bought a dual zone cymbal that comes with the stand. It's like a cymbal pack. This is the Avatar, HXW, whatever it is. It's a nice little package you can get. Wasn't that expensive. Okay, it was much cheaper than getting like a CY5, a Roland CY5, and pretty much does the same thing. All the reason why I bought a cymbal trigger was because I don't really prefer how the 3 upper triggers, how they work with the Roland SPD-SX. I've never had good luck with any of them, to be honest with you. So I felt that this time I'm gonna, instead of trying to get the best sound I can out of just those upper rims on the pads, I went ahead and bought a cymbal trigger. For mounting everything, I use 2 Gibraltar Road Series multi-clamps, okay? These things are really cool because you can then, how I mount them actually is I take an old Roland rack, okay? I use the snare extension, which is a smaller part of it, okay? The snare part of the Roland rack, if you know, is just a small part that kind of sticks out that you can mount your snare on. I then was able to cut another piece of the Roland rack and use that to mount my cymbal stand. So it's a nice little system where you can mount 2 poles, okay, that you can then clamp on your external pads to. And everything gets stored into a Dixon little Roomer 20-inch bass drum case for your drum set. So although it's made for a 20-inch bass drum set, there's actual 2 nice compartments, one for my pads, okay, and one for all the hardware that I'll use with it. And that's it. That's my entire setup. So hope this video was helpful to you, gave you some hints on maybe making your setup a little bit more compact. Works really well for me. Any questions, as usual, please make sure you post. Thanks so much for checking it out. Have a great day.